So if you want a few extra yards, folks, just pop some tape on the face and you'll get yourself another 30. Right, here we go. It's a little bit different this week. We have got Matt on the channel. Here's Matt Edwards there. He's a buddy of mine. We play a lot of golf together, don't we?
We do.
I'll do a link above. And we're at Celtic Manor. Matt is going to have an iron fitting. It's not your first one, is it? But
no, it's been a few years. I've had these irons for maybe 5 years, and I think it's just time for a little tweak and see where I am with it.
Yeah, so we're going to look at the process. I'm going to introduce Mark Putman to the channel. He's one of the fitters here at Celtic Manor, and they've got an amazing setup. So we'll show off the setup. And moving forward, we're going to be hopefully doing quite a bit of stuff here. But Matt's the guinea pig for today. You can see what a fitting's all about. Here we go through to the academy. We've got all this. Don't know whether you can see this. There's Mark. I'm just going to take him down and show off all the other ones. Okay, you guys can get acquainted for a second. So we got this one. Nice, isn't it? Look, we've got. That's pretty cool, isn't it? We've got another one here. This is Callaway. Callaway Mizuno Ping. They've got a PXG in there as well. And in this one, we got all the putters, the Scotty Cameron. So we got 4 of these amazing units with their all the latest technology. All the latest shafts and all that kind of business. This is full of Titleist. That's a incredible setup in there. So here we go, and we're into this one. Right, cool, looking good. So here's Mark's lair. You're in there quite a bit, aren't you? Oh, I better put my mask on actually. We'll have these on, unfortunately, but you'll see their lovely faces at some point later on. So this is Mark Putman, here he is. And he is here at Celtic Manor. How long have you been here, Mark?
6.5 years.
Oof, long time. You've seen it all then?
Yeah, I've
seen it all. And so he's going to be featured on the channel quite a lot going forward. We're going to do a bit of like a TXG type vibe, you know. We're not exactly copying, but we are. So we've got all the equipment here, haven't we? This has got to be one of the better ranges in the country, isn't it?
Yeah, because we're the TaylorMade Performance Centre, we do have an extensive range of shafts and head combinations, both irons and woods. But in terms of irons, yeah, we've got all the new range.
All the bits. That's what we're on today. We're on irons today, but
all
obviously...
Shafts, all different flexes, different weights, all the different ones you can imagine.
Good stuff.
We have got a full range of shafts and...
Yeah, it's a nice facility here, one of the better ones in the country. Matt's going to run through the paces. If you're interested, check this out. This is exactly what it's going to be like if you were ever to get fit for irons, which we'll talk about the reasons why you'll do that a little bit later on.
It's probably about time, down to 10.
Okay, so just looking for something a bit more playable really then?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. That one there, is it? Pattern, what's going on?
Yeah.
Is that the high one there you talked about?
That's the high one, yeah. I'd like to look at the so a Mizuno JPX 850 currently.
Right, okay.
And I think I'd like to look at the MP20s.
Yeah, fine, no worries.
I think they're very attractive. I mean, if I could stay Mizuno, that'd be nice, but I'm open to options. Yeah. And maybe try the TaylorMade and the Titleist.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are in mind.
Okay.
Because you've got the ping as well, haven't you?
We have got ping, yeah. We have, yeah. And when you got fitted for those, were they standard length, do you know?
I don't know, I can't remember. I think they were standard length and one upright, that's all, but...
Yeah. Your normal carry distance for a 7-iron? 150? Yeah, a little bit that.
Yeah.
It's got a tendency of launching just slightly higher.
Yeah.
They're the ones you're probably talking about that are kind of floating up in the air.
Yeah.
Launching a bit higher.
Yeah.
So we'd like to keep that I would like to keep that spin 6/8 perfect for a 7-iron.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd like to keep around that sort of spin rate. If you can lower the launch slightly, just get it a little bit lower and get the ball speed up. That's what we do. Basically, obviously, when we need to identify the length of the club, we're looking for a centre strike. So what we're looking to do is just obviously the maximum length of the club we can, so just obviously increase the swing speed. Obviously the shorter the swing speed, the shorter the club length you go, the slower your swing speed will be. So we're looking just to obviously maintain as much length as we can, but obviously most important to keep the ball speed, to get the centre strike.
Yeah. So Matt loves it out the toe a bit.
I love it out the toe.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Matt's worn a hole in the toe of his clubs.
Yes, I have.
So yeah,
so we can see that strike there. That's middle for me.
Oh look, he's got. Yeah, there you go. Right,
Yeah.
So he's got. So you've got that one on there as well, then, Mark. But we've got the Trackman numbers up there as well. So you just double check, or
Do double check, yeah. So
yeah, good.
obviously launch monitor.
Diligent.
Launch monitors are great, but it's always
Yeah.
questionable sometimes.
I guess it also completely proves to your client, if you like, as well.
Yeah,
there it
Just
is.
gives them that peace of mind.
So I guess over the years, Mark, you can just pretty much get this dialed in fairly quickly.
Can do.
Yeah.
We don't like to. We like to obviously take things as
Yeah, go through all the
go
options.
through all the options.
Yeah.
But
I think it's the full experience, because for this it's £50, is that right? And then you would get that
Correct.
off of a set of clubs, is that right?
yeah,
Or-
for a single line fitting, Celtic Manor is £50. It lasts 45 minutes. So what I've done here, just popped you in one that is now half an inch longer.
Okay.
All right. So what we're doing, I'm going to again take the face up. I'm going to just see if you can maintain that centre strike location. All right. What this should see is an increase in swing speed. All right, which ultimately gets you swinging faster. And again, if you can hit it about the middle of the face,
Yeah.
it's going to increase ball speed.
Yeah. And that's the same head again, is it?
Exactly the same head,
Just a different shaft.
just exactly the same shaft, just again slightly longer.
So we had, can you remember what we had on here, Mark, a minute ago? We had, it was 150.8 carry. I didn't see this, where's the swing speed again?
The swing speed, club speed is 85.
85,
Yeah.
okay, so that's what we
Yeah.
just had, so we might see an increase
Might
on
see a
this
slight
if we can get
couple
somewhere.
mile in
Yeah.
that. But we're mainly just looking at that strike location, just to make sure we can keep it centered. Pretty consistent strike pattern there, no problem at all. I'd like to keep you in a half inch longer.
Would you?
Alright, only because there's obviously increased your club head speed. Ultimately, as long as we can keep that strike pattern at the middle, it's just going to increase your ball speed. Alright, when we've taken the face tip off now, we start dialing some heads, start seeing that, those numbers start improving. So it was obviously striking it well out of the half an inch longer. Any more than that, you would probably start getting your kind of your scattered strike pattern, which is going to throw off obviously the strike, the centerness of the strike. Alright, so.
Cool.
So I'm now going to go into a lie check with you.
Okay.
Where we'll take the bottom of we'll take the sole of the club, and then we'll obviously see your strike location. Alright, and we'll identify it. Because alright, okay, it is 1 degree upright statically, you may be delivering it flat, dynamically.
Right, okay, so you can adjust that.
We can adjust that.
Yeah, right,
That's no
okay.
problem. So what we're doing here, we're just going to take the sole of the club, we keep all of that. Have we ever used a light board before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
A long time ago though, so
Okay,
you,
so again, do not worry about the launch of the golf ball, damage of the club, or anything at all. Just hit it exactly how you normally would.
Okay.
Make sure we're making contact with the board, and we will see a strike pattern on the bottom of the club. There we go. Exactly like that. Perfect. Okay, feeling in the middle. Perfect. Try again for me. Really have to do it. The days of this are gone, but I like to refer back to this.
Yeah.
You can kind of do it off dynamic lines, spin axis, and just
Yeah.
flight itself. But we're fairly centered here, it's perfect. Just hit one more for me. Face tape. Okay. So we're just going to look at this strike pattern here. Obviously, it's slightly towards the left, but the majority of it was in the middle. I will be keeping this in just as a standard line. All right, that's how we're going to do the rest of the fitting in terms of TaylorMade measurements. Mizuno slightly alter,
Yeah.
but we'll adjust that accordingly as we're going along.
Cool.
Perfect. Right. So we've got our length, we've got our line. All right. So we're now going to go into the fitting process as such.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got some sort of numbers from your obviously your 7 iron.
Okay.
I'm going to grab a few heads. So what you think, what you'd like the look of.
Yeah.
And we'll have a check.
Great.
All right.
Yes. Let's go shopping. Right, so far so good then, Matt?
All good.
It's good, isn't it?
Money's still in my pocket, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it's looking good.
That's lovely.
Good experience, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
I mean, it's like more than just a fitting, isn't it? It's kind of like an experience.
It's an experience.
Yeah, and you can ask all those dafty questions that you've. Like obviously, you ask me a lot of dafty questions, so you don't need to do it. For the normal person who's not got access to, somebody, maybe a good player or a pro, you can ask all them questions.
No, it's straight on to Google, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you don't really know what's going on with Google. Dispersion's pretty good. Look at those flyer balls with the tape on. So if you want a few extra yards, folks, just pop some tape on the face, and you'll get yourself another 30.
Alright.
Okay, now what have you got there? What goodies do you get?
So I brought the MP20 blades and the MP20 MMC. Alright. He said he likes the look of the blades and the thinner top line. The MMC obviously has that also.
Yeah.
But it's just got obviously basically the cavity back just to add that forgiveness in as well. So we'll have a look at both of those for you.
Great.
A couple of different shaft options. We've got the C-tape 120 just because obviously if we are going into the blade, higher lofted, so the lower launching shaft will just obviously help keep the launch angle just slightly lower.
Yeah.
All right. And should obviously decrease the spin if we're just getting a bit too much spin with the head there. We've got the Project X and the Dynamic Goal 120 just for some other options as well within the range in terms of launch and spin. So we'll go through those.
Great.
So before we're basically getting measurements, aren't we? Getting comfortable in the length of shaft and you had some lie bits.
Yeah, so we went in with we've gone half an inch longer and standard line.
Good.
All right.
And now we're into the fit itself, yeah?
Now we're going into the fit itself in terms of the shaft and head combination.
So you've got
this is Matt's current 7 iron. I just want him to hit 5 shots just so we can get some numbers and base it on that.
Okay. There's that
See
one.
the inconsistency though, can't you?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. When you look at obviously yours is the yellow here on the numbers. Slightly open. Ball speed obviously low, you hit that one right off the nose, so something along that line. Compared to this one's probably your best number. One of these could be here. So you've got these could be a 154 and 155. Like both of those, so they're your best two. Alright, so if we're looking at them sort of numbers, got good spin rate there on the 154. Slightly better spin rate there. I would like to see a slightly increase in spin, so around 6.5. Alright. I'm just going to see this a little bit kind of shallower. 48 is fine, but anything between 45 and 50. That's what I would like to see on that tank. Alright?
They look beautiful.
Yeah, go on, what have we got
I'm not
here?
sure about the yellow, but that looks beautiful.
Yeah, nice. What's that?
That's the
MP20?
MP20.
Nice. Player, you know that?
Right, so this is going to go what, 120?
What's that?
It should be,
This is going to go nowhere.
should be too far off.
Yeah. How does that feel though? It's not very forgiving, is it? No. So we need a bit more forgiveness there.
That's the trouble, it's the drop off. It's not the good shots. It's when you hit a bad one with a bladed
It's gonna
club.
be a bad.
Yeah, it's gonna lose such a
But
big.
looking at dispersion, it's definitely tighter.
Mine feels lovely and soft compared to this.
The dispersion is definitely tighter already. However, we're just not quite getting the distance and the consistency there. So if we can just get this launch angle down slightly, maintain that spin there is good. Probably just going to get just up from around the 150 mark, a bit closer. Yeah. I'll just want forgiveness in the clubs. There we go, that's a better one. How many of those are you going to hit?
Yeah, that's right.
Low ball speed. Yeah, you can see with the toe strike there, the ball speed's obviously lowered. Alright, so there's knowledge you're getting to spot the face there. Okay, and we're popping into the
Massive difference, isn't there?
I mean, that's why they're seen as players' clubs, because you've got to hit a consistent strike. You know, because the strike drop off is huge. Missing that much on those toe balls with your clubs and the other ones that you were in a minute ago. But of course, the bladed ones are dropping down to 130. you know, with a mistrike, and that's not taking turf into account. What's this one now?
So this is the
slightly more forgiving.
MP20, more
Still
forgiving.
looks nice, doesn't it? That's good.
So that's a bit more weight and a bit more help behind the face.
There's the,
That's definitely better for you in terms of strike, definitely straight away.
And
Yeah, more ball speed. Yeah, 100%. So just how the dispersion's just got tighter and tighter from Matt's club being here with the yellow
you right?
to obviously the blade, the MP20 blade being the pink circle here.
Yeah.
The next one here just being the blue circle. It's just getting tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
So this consistency as we're giving more forgiveness in the clubs. It is still going to be high. Passing the shaft, just changing for a bit of a low launching shaft. So the kick point's obviously a lot higher in the club, so it's going to launch lower.
Yeah.
Alright, so obviously
And
ultimately it's going to
this
launch
can make quite
lower.
a difference.
Yeah,
This can make quite a
definitely,
difference. Yeah. But just with that shaft
The
change.
ball speed has increased as well. It obviously is a lot like you look at your club head speed 85, 84, so it's not much different between club head speed. Slightly firmer shaft that is, but it could completely feel slightly different to you. Spin rate perfect, land angle perfect. If I was to sell you a club right now based on one shot, it would be that one. But
Yeah, gotcha.
that's
Done.
That's the one. Alright.
But you can also see the importance of lessons and a good strike, because it's the biggest factor.
Yeah, yeah.
TaylorMade now, yeah?
Yep, TaylorMade, running with the 770 head. Alright, it's not as forgiving as the 790. Alright, it's basically the sister to the 790, so it's slightly smaller face profile, slightly thinner top line. It is going to be a little bit thicker than that, so you get a bit more forgiveness. Similar shaft, oh well, exactly the same shaft. So we'll go from there. Alright?
So just with the shaft fitting, Mark, and like the heads are not irrelevant because it's personal, but it kind of is for the fit, really, isn't it? It's more getting the setup correct for people out there, you know.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
And so
Head
what have we done
shaft.
just literally from his old clubs to these the fit of what this could be?
We just had a look at his old club. We never really fit off an old club. We like it there as a starting point to see the numbers.
Yeah.
But if we take a look at the screen just here, you've got the yellows. They're very kind of wide and they're all over the place.
So the yellow is his original ones, yeah?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Got really low ball speed. Probably the fastest one there, 114.
But kind of importantly was we had a bad. It was going very high, wasn't it?
We were very high, and it was very kind of all over the place. There was no kind of set pattern. It was either low right, high left, sort of. There was nothing really set in stone with it. So what we looked at doing is just getting everything a bit tighter.
Yeah.
We went into. You wanted to try the MP20s.
Okay. Which colour's that?
Pink this here, the Mizuno, the Mizuno MP20 blade.
That's the pink ones, yeah.
Obviously, yeah, become a lot tighter. Distance was still quite dropped off.
Mhm.
We went into the MMC,
Which is the Mizuno.
Yeah.
Mizuno again.
But then we did change the shaft, didn't we?
What's that? Sorry.
But then we changed a
Changed
lower
the
flat shaft.
Through, yeah, we popped in the C taper.
The C taper made a big difference, I thought.
It definitely lowered the launch.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a 120 as well, so that's just the heavier shaft, which is going to bring the launch down. So yeah, we popped that in, and then we tried in the 770 head, which just give that extra bit of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Just improve the ball speed, just to get the distance up. So we've got it to, it's going to be half an inch longer.
Yeah.
Standard line angle with the C taper 120 stiff shaft, with the P770 head into it at the moment. Obviously we go now into the kind of the set builder. So if we're starting at, we'll have a look on his bag, see if we're starting at 4 through to pitch and wedge. We'll have to look at the pitch and wedge. But obviously that's a lot on what's in the bag already, and obviously preference on what Matt's looking to purchase. So.
Yeah, and look at a bit of gapping. Yeah. And over to Matt. So now you know your you know what you can, like, in theory, buy a club from anywhere you want to go. I mean, it'd be nice to come back here perhaps or wherever. Yeah. But you know what your fit is now. You think you've learnt much from today?
Yes, I do.
I think so.
Yeah, I think there's a big difference between what I would be. Let's say I'm going to buy this. There's a big difference between what I've got here compared to what is in my bag. because now I'm 5 years old,
Yeah.
and I think there's been quite a lot of. I've worked quite hard on my game over the last 5 years, and whilst there's still faults in the swing, I think it's pretty stable.
Like even if you did some incredible range work this year, you're still going to have these tendencies.
Yes.
Because that's your fingerprint from here on.
Yes.
You know, and so I think the fit is still very important from here on. So that's it all done, just in case anybody's getting fitted. So what do you do now? You'll get like a spec sheet, will you, Mark?
Yeah, so I've obviously filled in his spec sheets. We'll head down to the shop, have a chat in the shop, just about the specs and obviously the price of the product, which is obviously a massive point as well. I'll send over this report just so he's got that as well.
Yeah.
And then we can just have a chat if he wants to go ahead and purchase. If not, and obviously not.
No problems.
Purchase, then head off.
As a little note, and look, Mark's here as well, I would always say pay for your fit, because then the time that you're using with your fitter is not going to be pushed onto him trying to sell you a set of clubs. I mean, obviously he's going to try and give you information about clubs, because that's why you're here, and possibly give you some prices, maybe try and do perhaps a deal. But at the same time, if you pay for that fit, then he's really under no obligation to hustle you into any clubs anywhere. But if you're paying for your fit, like with these guys and anywhere else, it's good you're going to get your fit. You can go away and do whatever you like with it, or support who you've just got it from and buy some clubs from there. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoyed that, and if you're thinking of getting a fitting, I'll certainly put down below the details of Celtic Manor, but I'm sure there's one maybe local to yourselves. Hopefully you learned something from that. Remember to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Plenty more to come in the new year. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.